Good morning to all of you from India and good evening. To the ones watching from the US.
The US.
Hi.
Finally.
Finally, yes.
Good morning. So sorry.
Hi.
We had this mess up. I'm so sorry, but this has worked finally. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Andy, for going on and on with the intros and keeping the people engaged.
Well, I tried.
Well, I am getting a little bit of feedback, so...
Are you?
Yeah.
I'm only on one device, so you shouldn't be hearing anything else.
And you're really feeble for me.
Oh, can you hear me better now? Maybe.
Yeah, that's better, but I can still hear my own voice.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Or if you can probably use a earphone or
yeah. I'll also use my AirPods.
So those of you that have been waiting here patiently, thank you so much. And it's like super early here in India. And yeah, so we did figure out these things and it was working perfectly fine. But just as you all know, it's like, it's always, it's pretty jinxed with these gadgets and technology and, the layout changing almost every day on these platforms. Yeah, so we will figure out a more reliable way, maybe for the next time. I'm sure Archana is going to do all the homework and get set with. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
And yes, this is perfect. Yes. Yeah.
No feedback for you?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. Great. So once again, thank you everybody for joining us and being so patient with us. It's almost a lot of time and all of you have woken up so early, especially Deepika's fans have all been here and trying to, get to see something. So I'm so sorry again for all of the technical errors, but we are super excited to have you join us today, Deepika. And I'm so happy because you're my teacher also on CarnaticON. So I'm so excited to host you today for this second edition of Happy Hour with CarnaticON. I already kind of spoke a little bit about your background, but obviously we would love to hear more about you. And I think, everywhere we say, okay, let's start off with talking about our gurus. So why don't
Yeah, so I started to learn classical music from my mom. It was, my mom, she's formally trained in Carnatic music and she was a student of Charumati Ramachandran and Tiruvangada Jayaraman, and her own parents themselves used to sing. So music was there in the family. So I, sort of listened to her practice at home and, that's how I started picking up initially. And post that, okay, I didn't see Yamini. Just trying to get her on. Yeah. So formal training from a few wonderful gurus like Sri O.S. Tyagarajan sir, Vittal Ramamurthy sir, and my father, Varadarajan. So he was instrumental in getting me to be at these places and learn from such wonderful gurus. My mom, Geeta, she used to sing for Ilayaraja sir and many more music directors in the South film industry. So it was there pretty much in the atmosphere, and that's how I started to pick up my fundamentals. And since 97, I had the opportunity, I think, blessing and good fortune to start training from Srimati Sudha Raghunathan Ma, and I continue to learn from her. So that's been the tryst with Carnatic music. And I've also lately begun to learn Hindustani Shastriya Sangeet from Sri Prasad Khaparde. It's been a wonderful experience because it sort of, opens up your perspective and it's made me look deeper into every single note and, sort of live every single note. That's what I should say. So it's been like a great, wonderful journey learning from Sudama and Hindustani Sangeet from Sri Prasad Khapade, and I continue to learn, which is very, I think I'm like very blessed to have the opportunity to do so. Well, again, I don't see Yamini now. Well, I think it's going to let us, let me on screen.
Awesome,
Yeah.
awesome. I think I came back right in time for the next question. I know you've performed in so many concerts and stuff, but before we go to that, can you sing a little bit and show us like what's the difference between classical Carnatic music and your Hindustani music,
Sure
just
thing.
to get
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
people to get an idea? Can you
Definitely.
sing a little bit of both?
So this is the first kriti that I learned from my Guru Sudama, so I'd like to sing that. It's in praise of Lord Ganesha in the Ragam Nate. Parvati Putram Parvati Putram Sri Ganapatim Parvati Putram Sri Ganapatim Padambujam Sada Bhajeham Parvati Putram Sri Ganapatim Padambujam Sada Bhajeham Parvati Putram Sri Ganapatim Padambujam Sada Bhajeham Putram Sri Ganapatim Padambujam Sada Bhajeham Parvati Putram Sri Ganapatim Bhajeham So that was the first kriti that I learned from my Guru Sudama. So I'd like to sing something from my Hindustani classical repertoire. Since it's early morning for us, I thought I should sing Morning Raga. This is a very beautiful rag called Rag Lalit. Mm, Mere Gama Madani Sa Re Ni Dama Dama Ma Mada Re Ga Mada Dama Mada Madari Bhavandayaranda Joban Bhavandayaranda Joban Tujhe nazar nahi avanda Bhavandayaranda Joban तुझे नजर नहीं आवंदा भवंदा यारंदा जो बन तुझे नजर नहीं आवंदा भवंदा यारंदा अली-बमी बीच फर्क न कोई, अली-बमी बीच फर्क न कोई, अलिफ-मीम बाला वंदा, अलिफ-मीम बाला वंदा, भवंदा यारंदा जो बन तुझे नजर नहीं आवंदा, भवंदा यारंदा जो बन. Well, maybe I think we should just shift to Instagram because that's more reliable, and I'm not sure why Yamini is dropping off here. So that was in Rag Lalit for those of you that have joined here now. It is a Bandish, and Lalit is a morning Rag. As we follow the timeline for ragas in Hindustani Shastriya Sangeet a little more, strictly and rigorously. So that is a morning rag. I'd like to welcome those that have joined here. Grishma, Haridasan, Sheila Karthikeyan, Anil Raj, Lakshmi Ravi, Rajesh. Yes, Yamini is back. Yamini, maybe should we shift to Instagram because I see that you're dropping off pretty frequently. Not sure why.
Yeah. I think something's going on with my internet.
Oh, okay. Hi, Kay. Hope you're doing good. I think I'll have to probably just bring each one of you onto the camera, just as how she said, because there's some stability issue with the connection, maybe. Not sure from which side, because here also in Chennai, it's been raining cats and dogs, so probably it's also because of that. And yeah, like you say, night time in the US, and everyone's on the internet, like jamming the connection. Moni, Brena, Osornio, thank you for joining in. And those of you that are here until Yamini is back, if you have some questions, do let me know. Otherwise, I'm going to go on singing. Okay, evening rag. Okay, first, maybe I'll do a little bit of Purya Kalyan, which is an evening rag. मोरे घर आजा रे, मोरे घर आजा रे, मोरे घर आजा रे, सूरजन से मीत पिहरवा, सूरजन से मीत पिहरवा, मोरे घर आजा रे, मोरे घर आजा. तन मन धन सब तुम परवारो, तन मन धन सब तुम परवारो, मन रंग दरस दिखाजा, मोरे घर आजा रे, मोरे घर आजा रे, मोरे मोरे घर आजा रे. And for the people on the East Coast, a night rag maybe. Kanare Nandanandana Kanare Nandanandana Kanare Nandanandana Paramani Ranjana He Dukha Bhanjana Kanare Nandanandana Ranjana He Dukha Bhanjana Kanare Kantabali Motiyan ki mala Kantabali Motiyan ki mala Pairat mudrita Bhai Braja Balare Nandanana Kanare 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 Vinod, Selvamani, Manoj Pradhan, thank you for joining in, and Nivedita, thank you so much, Nivedita. Well, I see that there's something up with Yamini's issue, and it's dropping. So the founder of CarnaticON, she's here. Hi.
Hi. I am so sorry about this, guys. This wasn't supposed to happen. And, unfortunately, we just had to find a way to make this work. So, hello, everyone. My name is Archana, and I am the founder of CarnaticON. And I have here my beautiful friend, Deepika. Hi, Deepika. Very nice to meet you.
Hi, Archana.
So good to see you. So yeah, let's continue with some of the questions that Yamini wanted to ask you, Deepika.
Oh, yes, yeah.
So I think, she wanted to get to know more about your gurus in the music industry and what was the role that they played in your musical career.
Yeah, so we were speaking about this, and then, which is when I think all these, interruptions happened. So
Right.
there have been very, very strong influences, and like starting from the fundamentals. And I joined Sudama when I was about 9 years old. So you can imagine what sort of corrections and molding she would have made in the music that I was singing, and until today. So whatever it is, she's every little thing, and starting from the improvisation part, like to sing the raga, alapana, or swarams. So that takes a lot of effort and a lot of patience. So she's always pinpointed mistakes, and it's never been like for the kind of busy performer that she is, and she's always been. It's never been like she teaches a line and then I repeat and do that. It's never been like a traditional class setup. It's always been like more of a guide, coach, sort of, grooming and training. So I used to learn a bunch of kritis and, get back to her, to the class and sing it to her. And then she used to make those corrections in those, be it lyrics or be it the pronunciation or, be it the framework of the raga. So it's been a huge influence. And of course, like more recently with my Hindustani Shastriya Sangeet training under Sri Prasad Khapardeji, that's been like like a formal proper teaching and learning, because that's completely a new genre of music to me. Being in Chennai, in fact, we get to listen to a very, very less portion of Hindustani classical music in the city here, per se. So
Right.
that's been like, a lot of grooming and where even the akar, so he's taken a lot of time and effort in correcting even that, like the way the akar is said, and a lot many more things like holding on to a note and voice culture, technique of singing, and technique of taking the breaths at the right places so that you're able to comfortably sustain. So a lot
Mhm.
of those technical things have been able to learn besides the Shastriya Sangeet itself. So it's been tremendous, the influence of my gurus. I'm very, very lucky to get such wonderful people as my gurus in this lifetime. Yeah.
Okay, that's beautiful. So thank you so much for sharing your story. One of the questions that we have here is you have performed in so many concerts. Do you have a routine before you go on stage? And I think that is kind of in sync with what Mr. G.V. Subramaniam is also asking. He says how much time it takes in the morning for your voice to warm up. Do you drink warm water before you go to concerts?
Yeah, I have, of course, I have, warm water with me. That is, yes, definitely there. Yeah. But before the concert, to answer your first question, it's not like a routine. Of course, I, warm up and practice. I hold on, sustain notes in the, say the concert is in the afternoon or evening. In the mornings, yeah, I wake up and hold on to notes. I don't strain much. Like it's not like a full-fledged practice on the day of the concert because you want to reserve the best for the concert. So it's more of, warming up and like holding on to notes and just listening to the Shruti. That's about it. Otherwise, it's like just before the concert, I definitely make it a point to pray
Right.
God, and then leave for my concert. Yes, definitely. Yeah. And I have
That's very
photographs of my gurus in my practice room. So it's always a routine to, pay my namaskar to them before I not just practice, whether it's recordings or whatever it is, whenever I'm singing, even right before the session. That's always a routine. Yeah.
super.
And to
Okay,
answer
thank
G.V.
you.
Subramaniam's question, it's not like how much time it takes. I think it's more for, when you're in the learning stages and when you're like, just starting to get yourself familiar with music, only then does this time come in. Otherwise, it's like when you're regularly in touch with practice, it's not a question of how much time it takes. The voice is always ready. Whether it's midnights or, wee hours of the morning, it's always ready. Yeah.
Okay, super. Sorry, I'm running out of phone charge, so I'm just getting my phone charger. Okay, so
Oh,
as
you
per
should see here in
GV,
front of me. It's like, as if it's like a, rocket launch in these, labs. It's like full of wires and gadgets all around me, trying
no,
multiple
I mean,
things this
no,
morning,
but I think
especially.
you were always good at this because I remember, in so many of your concerts, you were one of the early adopters of the iPad. I
Oh,
remember,
yeah.
you
Yes,
were,
yes, yeah.
most
Yeah.
of your pictures were always with the iPad. The concerts were
Yes.
always with the iPad. So, you're always a very tech person. I know that. Okay, so the next question is Shankar Madhavan is a legend. How was the experience of sharing the stage with him? And also, please sing a song for us.
Well, I mean, I have been a huge fan of Shankar Sir, starting from his when Dil Chahta Hai released, and since those days, I think it's about 20 plus years. So I've always been a huge, huge fan of his music, his singing. And when I got an opportunity to sing along with him for, his show, I think it was like literally a dream coming true. It's very, very special. First of all, he is an amazing person, a wonderful person. I mean, it's a great human being. So to see someone as warm, as affectionate, and as simple as Shankar Sir at the spot where he is in, I think it's just phenomenal. You hardly get to see people like that, probably one in billions. Such a wonderful. It's he has such a wonderful family, and Shankar Sir is an amazing person as such. And to see him perform at such close quarters, I think it is always a huge learning because the kind of Shruti perfection that he has a huge band that is like playing full on, the music is like, it's like super high energy, We have heard all of his songs. So it's always like, pumped up, and it's like high energy songs. So when the band is playing that live, and when we have to sing on top of it, we were in ears like this on stage. And of course, we have the monitors in front of us. But it is, trust me, it's extremely hard to sing in perfect alignment to Shruti. And Shankar sir is just phenomenal with it. The way he improvises on stage, be it classical music or be it, any improvisation from the jazz arena. He is just phenomenal. The creativity is always flowing, even as he's, performing with all these and interacting with the audience. That is like superb. And the energy that he has, that's like, it doesn't drop at all. Like, when we are talking in the green room right before the concert, whatever energy levels he has, that's the same thing even post the concert when we are having dinner. So that is like, these are things that you really need to learn and always hold on to very tightly to the rest of the life. So, I've been very, very lucky to have had an opportunity to work in such close quarters with him. I'm going to sing one of my favorite songs of his. मेरे मन ये बता दे तू किस ओर चला है तू क्या पाया नहीं तूने क्या ढूंढ रहा है तू जो है अनकही जो है अनसुनी वो बात क्या है बता मितवा कहे धड़कने तुझसे क्या मितवा ये खुद से तो ना तो छुपा.
That was beautiful. Thank you
Thank you so much.
So I just wanted to say one of my favorite songs, like in the recent times, is from is the Sakhi. I don't know if you've heard of it. It's one of the. It's on. It's a show on Netflix, I think. So it is Netflix or Amazon Prime or one of those things. It is so beautiful. It is so beautiful. It's Bandish Bandits.
So yeah. I did watch the series, Amazon Prime. Yeah.
I'm probably going to learn
the
that
songs
song.
from that series is just beautiful. Like even the Bandish they've made, and Lab Par
beautiful.
It's a beautiful tumri. And did you know this is a trivia that I heard from the musicians that worked on this project? Apparently, the Bandish which keeps repeating in I think it's. That was a bandish which Shankar sir composed in literally less than 2 minutes. So that was a bandish that was made for the series, but it sounds like it's a very traditional bandish, but it was made for the series, yeah, composed by him, yeah.
That is gorgeous. That's definitely one of my most favorite shows in the recent times.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. So thank you so much for sharing that experience. So our next question is similar to question number 3, which is you have worked with so many different music directors from different generations. What would you say is the difference working with them, and tell us a little more about your experience working with A.R.Rahman sir?
Okay, so that's like a lot of questions in one single sentence. Again, like I said, I've been very lucky to work with different composers early on, since I was a child. Say for instance, working with someone like Raja sir, it's just magical. And his style of working is, he tells us exactly what needs to be sung. Exactly, like every note, every karvai, or every pause is so neatly laid out and so specifically said and instructed. So we just need to like get that, grasp it immediately. One thing is, he makes a lot of changes when we are at the mic. Like when we are about to record, he makes changes at the last moment. So that I think you need to like capture right away and sing. That's been his style of working. Of course, I've worked with other music directors like Deva sir, Sirpri sir, S.A. Rajkumar sir, Vidyasagar sir. And my first ever song for movie was for music director Sri, for the movie called Little Soldiers in Telugu. So that was all like, they're all like very, very friendly people, and it's like a family, because they already knew my mom, and they were familiar with me, and I was not a new face at all. So it was more like, family, and they used to treat me like their own daughter. So it was a beautiful experience. And more recently, when I sang for Kirwani sir for Bahubali, Kirwani sir is one other person who doesn't, make the singer keep repeating like, 30 times, 40 times. The takes are never done. It's like two, three times maximum. So he tells you what to sing and you practice it. And when you go to the, voice room, you just sing it like twice or thrice and that's it. Because he believes that beyond that, the voice becomes, you become more conscious that you're singing the same
Right.
line again and again. And then the natural feel is lost. So he does it like right away, and he's so fast at recording. So that was again a very, very beautiful experience for Bahubali when I sang. I was one of the voice auditions. A lot, many more singers had also sung for the same song. So finally, again, God's grace that my version got selected for the Tamil version. And for Rahman sir, when I went to sing for him, again, I was lucky that he himself recorded. So he used to, his style of working was like, he used to play the section of music repetitively. So, you had to listen to that and then go in and sing different versions, like whatever came to your mind. So it was also like, his version, plus you could also add on your own stuff to it. So that's his style of working. Yeah.
That's very nice, right? So he gives you a little leeway to explore,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
is what I think every artist also craves, right? At some point, you do want to be a little more creative with,
Yes. Yes.
what.
Yeah.
Okay, that is lovely to hear. And of course, you have to sing us a little bit of the song also, Deepu.
Sure
So
thing.
can, of course, yes, there will be a lot of singing. I promised.
Hmm. இருள் கொண்ட வானில் இவள் தீபாவளி இவள் மடிக்கூட்டில் முளைக்கும் பாகுபலி கடையும் இந்த பார்க்கடலில் நஞ்சார் அமுதார் மொழி இருள் கொண்ட வானில் இவள் தீபாவளி இவள் மடிக்கூட்டில் முளைக்கும் பாகுபலி.
So good. In the heart icon. Heart, 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 heart. That is so beautiful. Thank you so
Thank you
much.
so much.
I think everyone will be very excited to hear this as they wake up and join us for the happy hour. It's just perfect timing. Hopefully there are more people joining us. Thank you, Yamini. There you go. So she has the hearts right there.
Thank you,
Wonderful.
Yamini. Thanks.
Yeah, I miss you, Yamini, and thank you for all these lovely questions. Okay, I know I'm not as good as Yamini. She is fantastic, but I'm trying, guys. I'm really sorry about this whole mess up, but thank you for staying on. Okay, so our next question is about CarnaticON. So we are super super excited to have you on board as an instructor, and this is totally heartfelt. You were one of the first persons I called. I still remember that first phone call. I said, okay, so we are doing this, and what do you think? And would you be interested in joining? And I very well remember the response, but I would love for you to share that experience with everyone. So how did you hear about CarnaticON, and what has been your experience so far?
Okay, so so this would have been much easier had Yamini been there. I would have been like, Archana is this, that, that. Now that you're there here.
I know.
So yeah, so she's been like a very, very dear friend of mine, and we met in the US while we were there at the Tyagaraja Aradhana in Cleveland, and yeah, so we roomed together, and like I said in my post, we had some pizzas out. We used to sneak out, and we used to skip the ones and the sessions, and we used to go out and have these at Starbucks and the pizza outlet nearby. And yeah, so we had such a good time. Of course, I mean, like Archana has always been musically inclined, and with her background working for corporate giants like Google, and her expertise with the corporate side as well, and the tech side as well. I think that has made her to form this beautiful initiative, CarnaticON. So yeah, so Archana, one fine day she said that she's going to float this plan and float this whole venture. And what I really loved about it was the fact that when she mentioned that she's going to be looking at bringing people from different ethnic backgrounds and different countries and different cultural backgrounds. I think that was really, really nice. Because I mean, now we have a lot of audience, of course, in India for the classical arts, classical music. But this music is so fab, so rich, and it's so deep, not only in terms of the composition or the raga value, but for the sort of peace, the sukoon that you get while you listen to it. Even for people that don't understand the nitty-gritty of this music, when you listen to it, the kind of soothing, tranquil effect that you feel, that is something phenomenal. And I've always believed that this should be experienced by everyone. I mean, whatever place you're from, whichever country you're from, I think that definitely needs to be experienced by everyone. So this is a great way of, like slowly bringing them into this, spectrum of classical music, and slowly introducing them and familiarizing them with how beautiful this music could be. Because I think this is the greatest form of music, because everything is there. Like, what emotion is not there in classical music? Everything is there. So once they get a feel of this, no one would ever want to leave this. So I think this is a wonderful initiative to bring in people from different backgrounds. So that was something that really, struck a chord with me. So I thought this is a great way to, be in connect with people from different places. It's very nice to talk to them about classical music and sing something to them and make them learn a little bit. It's a great way of communication and interacting with them through music. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, we're all moving towards a very global, perspective on things. And it is important to be inclusive and diverse. And I'm very happy that, Deepika, you and I, we're on the same page on that one, right? So I think instantly, like we just clicked about this and we said, yes, we need to do something big in this space together. So I'm very happy to have you on board. On the same lines, so the next question is, you were an IT engineer. What prompted you to move to becoming a musician? What is it about music that really attracted you to leave your IT career behind and become a full-time musician?
Oh, I think, like music has always been there, because by God's grace, like, it was not planned, but sort of the professional thing started off when, with Kayala Manase. When I did that, I was about 6 years old. So God's grace, my, Guru's blessings, and it just started off that early. So it has always been there. Like the profession started, and parallelly I was learning classical music actually. So engineering was more of, like had to do sort of a thing. How did I leave my corporate career? I think it's gut feeling and, a very, very intuitive decision. I mean, I just felt like, being in music, honestly. So nothing beyond that. So I did try being there for a couple of months, but it was a very intuitive decision. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I totally concur. Like I'm guilty of one fine day just waking up and saying, I really need to do something awesome in my life. And this doing the exact same thing every day is not me. I need to move on and do something, which is a little more fun. And I guess that's how that is. So yeah, we're on the same page on that one too. And I just see that Emily and Karthik have joined. They're all my family and friends. Hi, guys. Thank you so much for watching. All right. So moving on to the next question. Is there someone you haven't worked with so far? And, who is that person that you would love to work with? again? If there's somebody that you already worked with and you want to work with again, who would that person be?
Oh, that is like all of the people. If I want to again work with them, it's the entire list. Of course, it is the entire list. But someone that I've not had the opportunity, I mean, like I said, like for instance, like with Shankar sir, like to see them perform and to sing along and work in close quarters, basically, that would be definitely my Paramaguru, Ustad Rashid Khan Sahab. So it's always been like I've always been in the audience and listened to him perform. So I would definitely, if by God's grace, get an opportunity to work at close quarters, definitely yes, he would be the person. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. So the next question I think is useful for a lot of people, right, who are thinking of becoming a full-time musician. So what advice would you give young aspiring musicians? Super
Practice.
question, Kamini. Thank you so much for putting this in here. What is your advice for young aspiring musicians?
Practice. Practice
Just practice.
regularly and consistently, and learn art for art's sake. I think, concerts or opportunities or, financially taking this up as a career, all of that is only a byproduct. The main focus is, learning music for music's sake or whichever art form it is. Learning that for the sheer joy of, being able to do or practice that art form. So I think I mean, for me, that's the happiest zone. Like when I'm practicing at home and, practicing for my own self. So that is like the happiest zone and the most comfortable zone that I'm, ever in. So learn art for art's sake. And if all of these things happen, if like concerts happen or, like recording sessions happen or, name, fame, byproduct, be very happy about it. But the sole focus and the goal is learn music for music's sake.
That's beautiful. Very, very well put. And I think this is very similar to what Praveen Sparsh also said in the last happy hour. He said,
Uh-huh.
if you ever want to feel calm and, you just have to go to a very quiet place and do your thing. You don't have to perform for public. You don't have to be
Yeah.
in a recording setup. You just do it and, you would see the effects of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think, this is one common thing that I'm hearing from a lot of musicians, and
Yeah.
I completely agree. All right, so the next question is, you have been a voice artist. Who have you dubbed for? What do you find more challenging?
Oh, for a bunch of people. I mean, initially I dubbed for Kamal Hassan's daughter's role in Abhay Shanmugi. The same was made in Telugu as well. So I dubbed for Bhamini Satyabhamini as well. She's Anne, and starting from that, I've dubbed for a couple of movies, Surya Vamsham, Onnidathile Naikurathen, and more recently for Yan, then what was the other one? Thani Oruvan. So a bunch of movies like that. Uh, Doing that is a whole different feel, and it is very hard. It's very hard. Because to sync with the person on screen with their lip movements and to also be able to emote much more sometimes than what they've done on screen. It's like almost you're acting 80% inside the studio. So that's very, very hard. That's very hard. I mean, I would say that's more challenging because singing is very natural. I would say it's second nature to me. Dubbing is something that I have to put in more efforts and like try and analyze and see how I should match my voice to the person that's on screen. So definitely that is tougher. Yeah.
Would you also consider acting at some point, Deepu?
Oh, I don't think so. It's been like, acting came to me because I was singing. Balachandra sir chose me only for the fact that I was, already singing. So that just happened like by chance, like a happenstance actually. So since then, that's how it has been. I mean, it's never been like mainstream, acting as such.
Okay. Okay, awesome. Okay, so the very last question on Yamini's list is, of course, we cannot let you go without more singing. Please sing something for us. I think this is more a request from a student to a teacher. So, so she cannot get enough of you. She just wants to hear you sing all the time. Is that right, Yamini? Which is Yeah, which is what I think the fans are here for too. So, yes, guys, if you have any other questions, please feel free to send us your questions. We will be around for another couple of minutes.
So what do you want me to sing? Like maybe I read a bunch and yeah, some I did some bandishes and then of course Carnatic. So what is it that you want me to sing? Is there any specific thing that you would like to listen to?
So we just got one question in. So they said, Deepika, can you please sing 4 lines of Bhupalam?
Bhupalam. Oh God, I'm gonna just look up the lyrics then. Okay, I'm gonna turn off this. பூபாலம் இசைக்கும் பூமகளூர்வலம் பூபாலம் இசைக்கும் பூமகளூர்வலம் இருமனம் சுகம் பெறும் வாழ்நாளே பூபாலம் இசைக்கும் பூமகளூர்வலம் இருமனம் சுகம் பெறும் வாழ்நாளே பூபாலம் இசைக்கும் பூமகளூர்வலம்.
So beautiful. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. So if you have any other questions, guys, this is a good time to ask. Otherwise, I think we just, we are, I'm sorry about all the technical difficulties we had setting this up. We are running over by 10 minutes and thank you for sticking on. Okay. All right. I think, Deepu, we are done. So this was great chatting. In spite of all the chaos, I completely enjoyed having this conversation with you impromptu. So,
Likewise, same here. It's a pleasure always. Yeah.
Absolutely. All right. You take care. Thank you. And see you guys
so
soon.
much.
So next week we'll have another happy hour. Hopefully we'll be better prepared for that one. But stay tuned for our next guest. All right. Take care. Thank you, Deepu. Bye-bye.
See you then. Bye-bye.